Hello everyone. It's been a while since we used the battle simulator, but I feel like these current commanders that we got coming are really great to get some insight on before they actually get into the game. So we get some preliminary results. So if you're here for the first time, I'm a free-to-play content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. I've been playing the game for over 7 years and consider subscribing. I made videos about simulator in the past, but to give you a short summary, if you want to take it for yourself, you can join the Discord, link in the description. You subscribe to the Patreon, it only costs $1, and you get your hands on this particular simulator for the commanders. And you get a crystal technology, which is also being updated with the current and the latest technology. And I'm gonna show you how to set it up if you're here for the first time. So this is what you get for the first time. You have your red borders on the left, green borders on the right. You have all these type of metrics, but trust me, it's easy to navigate. And we're gonna start things off with Achilles. This whole video is going to be about Achilles. I think Hector deserves a video by himself because he could be a potential garrison. So with all that out of the way, let's begin with setting up our marches. So on the left, I'm going to go with our, I would say, obvious pairing, which is going to be Arthur and Achilles. You want to have Arthur primary because of the combo. You put this to Season of Conquest, so you get all damage bonus. It favors, it skews the reports if not chosen. So for the civilization, I could stick with Arabia for the 5% attack. I could go with Germany. I could go even with, Byzantium for the health, but I think I'll just stick with Germany. I'm gonna go for the open field route. And we can do it. Let's do a 10% buff. Let's do like maxed out, like VIP level 19 here. So we need to just like that. One troop type, of course. So for the iconic, you could mess around this, but it's optional at this point. You can min-match. You can really min-max your own setup if you want to, but I prefer to keep it simple. And when it comes to the talent trees, you just press this, and I think out of these ones, I'm going to go for the second one because this talent in particular gives you 6% damage to combo, and you take 3% extra damage. So I think this is going to be really good for a double combo setup, which this particular setup is. So manual equip mode, auto equip mode. Yeah, we can do the usual. Here we could do ring, and we could do horn, basically. I might try it out with the hilt as well to replace the ring, for example, but for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna go with the simple option. Now, where is it? Delta formation. So I'm gonna go for the all special inscriptions. Keep it simple. You can put on stats as well, but I'm really looking for are the inscriptions. So with all that out of the way, we can do our right side, which is going to be pretty much the same, except we're going to use Huo Arthur, so another skill damage based pairing, which is in a dueling situation really good. So we're gonna go Huo Arthur, troop count, same setup. You could argue maybe horn is not needed on Huo, but just to keep it relatively fair. Inscriptions, we're gonna go for wedge, and just to double check everything, we got the civilization. I could put the city skin, but I'll keep it blank. Like I said, you could min-max the stats if you want to be really precise, but are these commanders using any relics? No, they're not. Open field. Really important to say that. I can automate. or you can start the battle. The automation gives you more results. We will do that just in a minute, but let's just start to see what happens. You can speed it up. And we shall speed it up actually, just to see how it does. So it's looking pretty one-sided. 50k left. Now if you want to click on the report, just click on this and you get the report. So this looks pretty convincing. We can automate this. And let's see how many times can this, and how many tries does this march beat Huo Arthur? It's looking pretty consistent if you ask me. So once again, we have identical equipment, 4 special descriptions, same civilization, same troop defense token. And it's winning more often than not. Yeah. So pretty straightforward. Now we should go to infantry. I think infantry definitely counters this parry because they do not reduce bite damage really. So potentially this could go quite wrong for them. So we're gonna go with Bai Chi and Luce. There we go. So for this one, I could go France, I could go Rome, I could go Greece. I think most people, when they're running infantry, they're running France. I'm running France as well. So this is the lineup. Yeah, this seems about right. Now for these inscriptions, we want pincer. Special inscriptions. Okay, talent tree. Yeah, looks about right as well. Want that damage. Let's just begin. Although looking, yeah, you can see the damage mitigation is kind of lacking on their part. But this could be a fluke because this is a very convincing win. Let's try again. Just to double check, have I missed anything? Pretty consistent. Let's try one more. Yeah, this is even worse. So against the infantry is going to struggle, which honestly makes sense. And it should be the case if you're going by the rock, paper, scissors route, which we had in the past. But over time, when there's a new really power creep commander, that kind of throws it off. But it's fair to say, like, against the infantry, it's not going to do well. Let's try our archers. Archers are probably going to be the main. So let's use YG. We're gonna use Ottoman. Now for the talent build, do we have a different talent build? Yeah, we could use this one for USH. Yeah, that could work. So we want Wedge, Hunter, Balanced, Stoppable, and Intrepid. Ottoman. Okay, let's begin. Yeah, the archers are draining down fast. real fast. Wow. Double. More than double. Could be a fluke. Let's try it out again. Yeah, a little bit better, but still losing by a comfortable margin. Which, like I said, it makes sense. If you're going by the rock, paper, scissors, they should be able to beat archers rather comfortably, and they're doing just that. Really comfortably. So let's do one more just to make sure. And then I'll put Zuge behind QSH. Maybe that makes a difference because Zuge debuffs the damage of the opponent. But yeah, this one looks by far the worst one. Yeah, that's crazy. So let's put on YSG secondary. I mean, Zuge secondary. See what happens. Feels like even worse. Yeah, the same. Let's try one more. Now, this is a 1v1 scenario. I know Achilles has a 5 target circle AoV combo attack, and potentially doing a 1v1 test is not going to fully bring that to light. But, you know, this is just a preliminary testing, just to see how they do. And for, you know, so far, they've been performing as much as you would expect. Performing well against Huo, and performing well against archers, but losing against infantry, which it should be that way. Like, honestly, it feels very fair, all things considered. So now, let's try out Achilles primary. I think Achilles primary could have potential pairings, but I want to try out Hector. Here is Hector. So in this particular scenario, yeah, we're gonna do this one. And yeah, let's try out. Let's see how Hector compares to Arthur with Achilles. This one feels like very similar. Yeah, very similar, if not better. Oof. Yeah, this seems looking quite consistent already. Just remember, Hector does multiple combo attacks, not just from the active skill. I think it's one from one of his maybe second. No, I think it's the third skill. Yeah, we'll do one more. Then we'll do it by G, just to see how it compares. Yeah, it's pretty consistent. Pretty consistently beating. And no arguments there, but just to see how much damage YSG could make. A smidge better, but still not good enough. So archers are definitely going to be suffering from this pairing, from Achilles in general, which makes sense. Now we're going to go back to infantry. So Baichi Luce as our option. We're going to go with France. And we're going to go for Pincer once again. I think Pincer as a formation is still very strong, especially against cavalry. And let's see. That's good. Let's go. I think the infantry is taking a bit more beating than before. But still, comfortably winning. Let's try one more. Now, as always, you always take these reports with a grain of salt, because especially now with the Achilles, he's having effects that are not in the game before. Like the buffs actually, or actually say debuffs, do not go away once you leave combat. So that could also be quite nice in the open field scenario. But once again, it feels like Infantry is going to be getting the best of him. And we should be totally okay with that. Let's try out the mirror match. Let's try Huo, Arthur, Germany. With the all inscriptions, we should be getting lots of these inscriptions. Most people have at least one or two. Okay, this looks good enough. Oh wow, look at that. They're losing. Interesting. Interesting. So this is the first time Achilles lost. And it was not that close. Maybe it was a fluke. Let's see. So once again, Huo's reduced rage requirement could play a role in this. But looks like this time it did not go his way. Yeah, this one definitely not going his way. Let's try out more. So you can always automate 10, 50, 100 results, and you can base an average off of that. I could do that, but the video is going to take too long. So you can just play around, yourself in your free time, put in all the metrics you want, and then see for yourself. This is just to give you a rough idea on how the commander is going to work. And so far, this pairing is giving off the most mixed results. Like sometimes wins, sometimes loses narrowly, sometimes wins narrowly. So this is just food for thought here. But there are other pairings we could use with Achilles. So for example, we could use Attila. I think that could be an interesting choice. I think Attila in the 1v1 should not be an option. So out of these, Cao Cao, no. Attila, maybe. XY, no. Joan, no. Belly, no. Minamoto, no. Takeda, no. Is there any worthy candidate? Bertrand is a combo commander, but I would not really try that out. But because of the skill activations, I'm willing to try out Phillip secondary. Just to see. I'm not expecting great results, but I would like to see how it does. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Now, this is a 1v1. Phillip barely does any damage. But in a boardable scenario, it could potentially bring better results. But maybe just pairing with Hector seems like the better option, because Hector at least does way more damage alongside everything else. So maybe Phillip is not the play here. We could try Subutai, but Subutai is a rally commander, just to see, because he still does 3000 combo damage, but still his skills do not represent enough for the field. Yeah. So this are just preliminary results. We could have some prediction that, Arthur and Achilles will be quite good. But honestly, before diving head in, I would just wait for the new calorie cycle, because they are not part of the KVK cycle. I mean, they're not part of the CAV cycle, but they are the KVK cycle, which means we could be getting two more really meta commanders. And these commanders are sort of like Ragnar, where they're good, but they could be potentially worse in the long run compared to the meta cycle. But if you're a CAV main and you run only calorie, I think this commander is going to bring you a lot more variety, a lot more needed AoV, because in previous releases you had Belisarius, who was single target, you had Huo, who was single target but still really good, Eleanor single target, and now you have a 5 target circle AoV combo commander. Just for that skill alone, for cam mains, I think is worth the investment. But for everyone else who's running only 1 or 2 marches, I would still wait to see the new commanders before making the final decision. So hope that makes sense. And for the next video, I'm going to make a video about Hector. So you're going to watch that in the end screen potentially now. And with all that said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.